We're going to establish some groundwork, build our foundation, and then I'm going to put a case study together for you to really show it happening in real time. Okay. So as it pertains to paying off debt fast, I think, yes, there are tons of strategies out there, tons of different tactics and moves that one could make. But before you implement anything, what I have been doing a lot of with my clients, I've just been asking different kinds of questions, trying to get a little bit deeper with each person I work with and really help them build their personal development. And within that, I'm asking questions around their values, around their faith, their belief system. What mission are they on? Or what mission do they want to be on? Their purpose. And ultimately, when we can get clear on these things, that is going to help us build a very, very strong foundation so that any strategy that seems difficult, hard to comprehend, hard to implement, is going to come much faster in their, it's going to land in their brain. The light bulb's going to go off much faster than dealing with someone that doesn't have a strong foundation. I would like those that are tuning in live, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong your foundation is. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is your foundation as it pertains to these topics right here? How strong are your beliefs? Can you defend it? Can you articulate your values, your beliefs, the mission that you're on, the purpose that you have in life? If I was to ask you, and you can type in the comments and you can formulate your ideas, what are your values? Give me 1 or 2 values. What is your belief? What's your faith? And what is the mission that you're currently on? Do you have one or do you not? What is your purpose in life? What have you been put on this planet to do? Can you articulate that in a few sentences in the comments? That's something I want you to work on while I continue. And this is, I would say, the secret, quote unquote, that you see a lot of successful people have in their life. The reason why they're able to accelerate wealth so fast, pay off debt, serve at the highest level, I believe it's because they have these main things down packed, that it doesn't matter what the circumstance is, they are dialed in. They know exactly who they're supposed to serve. They know exactly where they're supposed to be, and they have a level of conviction when it comes to their values and beliefs. They're so convicted that they're in the right place, that they're doing the right thing, that it creates this, call it this energy, this aura, that when they walk in a room, the energy shifts. People are drawn to them. They articulate their values, beliefs, their mission, their purpose to everybody else. They're able to convince everybody else in the room that they're supposed to be there, that they're bringing the highest level of support, customer service, value, etc., etc., etc. It just becomes infectious. And so now when that happens and you change people's energy, focus, attention, and you give tremendous value, guess what happens? The transaction of that exchange, as human beings, we measure that in money, and it could be anything. That's how we measure things. The amount of value I give to you in this video, if this is your very first time watching me, will determine how our relationship flourishes, either positive or negative. So if you get a positive first impression when you first land on my YouTube channel, or if this is your very first video watching me, or watching me live, right? You can comment that as well. Based on how I deliver value to you today will determine what the future holds for our relationship. And then ultimately, the transaction that may occur, whether it be a financial transaction, it could be a spiritual transaction, it could be a relationship transaction, it could be a referral transaction. And again, at some point, there's a monetary exchange. So even if you never do business with me, let's say you personally never do business with me, but I gave you a lot of value and you were able to save thousands of dollars on your debt-free journey just by watching my videos alone, it was so valuable that you organically, naturally spoke to your friend, partner, family member, coworker over breakfast, lunch, dinner, conversation. That was a referral, potential referral. You don't even know if it'll create any fruit, but it's a potential referral. Okay. Now that person goes and looks me up. They watch one video of mine or they jump on a live. They get tremendous value and it results in a transaction, a financial transaction, because they then went on my website and they purchased a coaching program from me or a consultation, or they decided to work with me on life insurance, or they clicked on one of my affiliate partnership relationships, which they then did business with that person, which then resulted in a financial reward transaction back to me. And meanwhile, you didn't even know that your friend, years later, you find out, months later, I've had this literally happen. Like I have clients where they're like, my dad, my brother spoke about you, or my brother's wife, my brother's cousin, right? Or my aunt this way, my coworker mentioned this, and I started watching because they spoke about you, and then I then went to this other YouTube channel, saw you again on that YouTube channel, and I was like, wait a second, blah, blah, blah. And then you prayed about it, boom, that results in business. Your friend doesn't even know. They just sent business my way. That was the transaction. That was the mentality, because I'm dialed in on my values, my beliefs, my mission, my purpose, my foundation is rock solid 10. Okay, some people commented a 7 so far. That was Jerry. That's my only person that is participating as of right now. Okay, 20 people in the house. Again, tell me what state you're tuning in from. We got New Jersey in the house. Then tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is your foundation as it pertains to your values, your beliefs, your mission, your purpose. If I was to ask you, what are your values? What are your beliefs? What is your mission? What is your purpose? How confident in you in explaining that in a few sentences in the comments? Work on that. Give me some more time, and then I'm going to read them off, and then I'll take us to the next stage. But that story that I'm giving you is what has put me in a position today to be able to deliver tremendous value to people, because I'm so convicted in the things that I'm doing. I know I'm in the right place. And when you're operating in your purpose, on your mission, with strong values and beliefs, guess what else happens? You start to let go of certain things that are holding you back financially. You're able to lighten your load and you're able to accelerate faster. You're able to move faster because you're no longer concerned about what other people think about you. You're no longer concerned about the watches, the jewelry, the clothes, the shoes, the car you drive, the house you live in. These things start to become so low in your list of priorities. They start to just drop. All these material things that cost lots of money throughout your life, you start to just spend less organically, naturally. You're not even trying to budget, to scrimp, scrap, save, preserve. You're not even trying. It just happens organically because they just become less and less and less important. You're not trying to go to the expensive restaurants. You're not trying to spend more money when you leave outside and go on entertainment. Things that start to entertain you now cost way less, such as reading a book. That only costs you 10 bucks, 20 bucks, as opposed to going to the movie theaters and spending $75 for movie tickets for the family and another $50 in the snacks and foods that you throw half of it out, or you don't even drink the whole soda because it was a massive amount. Took 3-4 hours of your day, and you come back drained, you're tired, you don't want to do anything afterwards, and it slows you down economically, but also slows you down spiritually and physically. You're personally not developing, so it's slowing you down tremendously. Okay. Paul says maybe 4 to 5 on my foundation. We're in Minnesota at a 7. Nice. Paul, client, love it. We're working together. Think it's been a while since we last connected, so we're gonna have to jump on a call soon. So I'm looking forward to that. So my point, spending a good amount of time here on the personal development side, I believe is what's going to take everyone here to the next level. You're gonna find yourself like it happens in such an organic way. You start to direct attention here. So we want to redirect attention and we want to move with intention. Attention, intention, redirect attention. What does that look like? Again, certain things that entertain you today are no longer going to entertain you. Certain drawbacks like TV, subscriptions, a change of environment, you could even say friends and family. You're going to spend less time with certain people, certain friends. You're going to spend less time with certain family. It's not because you don't love them. It's not because you don't love your friend. They're just not on the path that you want to be on in this current season of life. What I love about this is you are not losing anything. This is not a trade-off, although some may present it that way. So what I'm saying here is no trade-off, no compromise. How do you spell compromise? Compromise? Let me know if I spelled that right. Compromise. Compromise. No compromise, no trade-offs, no losing. Because it is simply a redirect, or another word for is repent, which means you simply changed your way of thinking. You changed your way of thinking. Before you repented, you reflected. You're reflecting on your life. You are contemplating these ideas, these stressful thoughts that are going through your mind. You're in a place where you don't want to be. This YouTube channel is not necessarily a entertainment, although I might make you laugh from time to time. This channel is not a place where people are necessarily trying to learn something, although I may teach you things. This channel has been designed in such a way where everybody I've ever interacted with, literally, this is the common thread of every family I've worked with. Personally, I can't speak for my entire YouTube channel in terms of the amount of people that follow me. I'm sure there's people that literally search for something and then I popped up. Thank you, YouTube, for doing that from an algorithmic perspective. Love and appreciate that. Specifically talking to anyone that has worked with me one-to-one to some capacity. And those of you who are in the house, clients, live, and you've done work with me in the past or even currently, please testify to this. Please back me up on this or disagree with me. And then that'll help me reflect on some things as well. But the common thread that I've seen over the 1,000+ families that I've worked with over the last 7 years, every single person has come to me with the initial desire to want to change something about how they're living as it pertains to their finances. It's not that they want to make more money, which is a byproduct of changing something about your life. The result is you will make more money, you will get out of debt, you will be a better steward. But the initial part is you're like, I've got to change how I'm thinking about my money, about my future, about my family's future, about the way we operate our household finances, about the way my faith and my money lines up. Something pertaining to change. And when you can see that, when you know it, because you're coming to me with that desire, maybe you just didn't articulate it at first, but I personally see it. And from my perspective, you're not losing anything when you change. When you decide to change, I don't think you're losing anything. I don't think you're trading off anything. I don't think you're compromising, although it may seem like that because you're no longer participating in this particular way of living or this activity. It may seem that way. It may logically seem that way, but spiritually, there is a revelation occurring. There is this redirection, the word re is like you're remembering your original authority in life. You're remembering the place you're supposed to be at, even if you've never personally been there, but spiritually in your dreams, in your visions, in your thoughts, you've been there. So technically, you're remembering a place of peace, a place of authority, a place of freedom as it pertains to our money that you ought to be at, and you're not there today. So if you can think in that way, where it's a change first, which results in you repenting, you transform your mind, you're renewing your mind, you transformed. And so now, since you're like this whole nother person that's getting ready to direct all your attention towards personal development, your values and beliefs, your mission, your purpose, forming your foundation. Once you have that, I promise you, not only are you going to pay off debt extremely fast, but your wealth is going to build simultaneously at the same time.